Alright guys, today we're going to talk about construction. Now, although it's a garden channel, this channel is every channel. We're doing everything with gardening because regardless of gardening, you still need somewhere to live. You still need a camp house, a log cabin, something to, even if you should have a garden in the forest, you still have to need a little place that you can rest your head, or if the rain or the weather. So I am here today, which I am going to put a few photographs after this message so you can see the difference in construction work. Construction work is a trade, and like all other trades, it's unique and very creative. So I am here to give a few tips about construction work. Now, before I go on, I also want to create in all this safety. I did a channel the other day that they call about the solar panel, and I also indicated in setting up your own solar panel system. It's very important to make sure that you're home when your battery is charging. If you know you're not going to be home, please unplug the solar panel even if the battery isn't charged. It's good to know when it turned green, the regulator turned green. You are at home to see that the regulator turned green. You know why? Because once you start to charge your battery, it's supposed to set in mind that your battery is charging. So every now and then, while you're home or you're camping out or wherever it is, you have it in mind to unplug it as soon as the battery. Because all batteries are designed to have a capacity. So when it's green, that's when it's done, it's full. If you leave the charger on, you will damage your battery, swell your battery, and you will also, some batteries might ignite and create fire. So please bear that in mind. Once you're setting up a solar panel system, ensure that if you're not around, you unplug the solar panel system from charging. Now, construction is a very unique trade. It's unending because whatever you shape a mixture in and it's hardened, it becomes solid. Now, cement is a very unique mixture, and this is where I'm here to give a few tips about cement. For example, plastering or tile work or block work, masonry, any form of masonry. It's never good to have cement on the ground, say for more than 4 to 5 hours. Because what will happen is this: the cement is going to get hard, you keep mixing it back, but the purity and the strength of the cement is slowly diminishing while you keep mixing it back. So always ensure that you mix adequate amount of cement for what you need for the job to entail for that duration of hours. So if you mix this large amount of cement and you don't need all of that, but you're going to use it, eventually the last batch of cement is not going to be as strong as the very first one. Bear that in mind. Construction is a very unique trade. Measurement is also essential. Reading blueprint, understanding blueprint. But today I'm not going to go into so much detail. I'm just going to give you a few little tips. Like for example, you're on a property, you want to build a home. First of all, think about how you want the house to set. Which direction the wind blowing in. Is it that when you design the room, it so happens that the house designed or shaped in a position that is against the wind or before the wind? So in that way, when you open the wind is blowing on the glass and not through the window. There is a lot of ways to look in designing and building houses, right? Say for example, using square blocks. Everything comes with a level, not a straight line. A straight line is a straight line, but a level is a level. That that comes with gravity, right? So I'm here to say, for example, also understand soil content. How strong is the soil? Is it rocky? Is it a rocky soil? Is there a river running underneath? Is it clay? Is it mud? Why? A lot of people build foundation in a rush, and they use various methods of ramming down the soil. But although you ram the soil and then you have it here and you cast it, nature is different from manpower. Over time, that soil is going to set. So when you cast the foundation of the building, eventually over months and years, that soil that is rammed is going to leave the foundation. And eventually going to cause warp, depression, a little bend there. And what will happen now is that it will cause the tiles to crack up, to bend, to twist, and to move out of place. So sometimes in foundation, it's good to allow the foundation for even a month to set properly after ramming. Those are some eggs. The next step is about soil content. Soil content is very important to understand soil content. The size house you're going to put on the soil, and also I'm not going to go in industrial building and 100-story building now. That is a total different thing altogether. But comfort is the most essential part of having a home. It don't make sense you have a home and eventually when it's complete, it's not feeling comfortable. So this is why I am here, to ensure I kind of give you a few tips about these are some of the things to look into when you're going to build a home. Feel it out. Pray to. Ask God to give you the vision and patience. Now, foundation and everything when it comes to block work, you have many different kind of block work. But remember this always. Everything comes with a level, precision, and equal. Because it makes from one part of the construction go bad, it's a follow through like a domino effect. You go right down to the mason and the plastering become more difficult. So today I'm here to also share the final one. If you're doing a decking and you're going upstairs, you have iron props, you have different way of, some people use ply, some people use metal to cast the decking. Some people use bamboo to hold up that weight. Now, it's a lot of steel and some is 3-inch, 4-inch thick, right? Now, there are reasons why they don't put 5 and 6 inch, because you don't want to have a home with top heavy. That will be too much weight on top of a home, on top of the weight that is going to go on top of the weight. So, try not to use those wood that they call 2x4 or 2x6 to prop up your decking. Why? I'm going to tell you why. They might be strong, but when you prop up, eventually over time with that excess weight, it will create a bend in the board, and that will create a belly in the foundation. When it's hard, it's going to set the same way. Now, if it's something that is caught high very quickly, like on the same day, then you can use a metal prop to jack it out, which is going to take more work. So it's very important to make sure that propping up your foundation is using metal prop or a large amount of bamboo prop with thick bamboos to keep it perfectly in one position so you don't create belly in when it's completely dry. So eventually we all know that it takes 21 days. Usually some people say 2 weeks, but it's 21 days to dry foundation. So this is some of my tips today on the field of construction. And also bear in mind that once this goes up, and this design is a permanent fixture, so make sure that whatever you feel comfortable with is the final say before the blocks start to lay. Have a good one, and you can view the photograph and see the other works that I have done and others have done. Have a good day from Kirk. All right. This is a final touch. You have different side steel. You have 1/8 steel, half-inch steel. You have 3/16. You have 3/4. You have 1 inch. You have 2 inch steel. You have all different sizes of steel. Now, just to kind of touch this off, everything come in moderation. A small column, you would be able to put a 2 inch steel in a small column for a small job. Because what that will do now, the steel is more powerful than the flexibility of the concrete. So everything work in a harmony. So if you have an earthquake, well, God forgive you, don't want that to happen. But if you have any form of land movements, the concrete usually bends slightly or move. So you have to make sure that the side steel is compatibility with the concrete. So while the concrete bend a little bit, the steel bend with the concrete. So it's always make sure that you have the right size steel going with the right size cement so that it flex together evenly. Okay? So that is also now when it comes to setting foundation, well, everything of its, policies and whatever. But honestly, when it comes to dead foundation, honestly, you can throw anything in that. Barbed wire, steel, this, that. A lot of people do everything across. Well, you know, definitely. But in general, it's good to follow everything by the table and make sure that you have yourself a comfortable home. And these are some of my tips. How about let's take on there?